Well, you know what?
The only thing that's allowed to be late is my test scores and my girlfriend's period.
Girlfriend's period.
There you go.
Oh my god. So appropriate.
And the best part is, we
don't have to worry about it either because I'm not in school and I don't have a girlfriend. Whoa!
Are we live?
Jesus.
No, we're not fucking live.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
I think we're live.
Ah, fuck.
Wow. What I
meant to throw that over, but
I didn't know they can't even see you, so it's no big deal. I can't see you either right now.
Well, come on, Jeremy. Those are
When
great visual bits.
Was it? I told you I always start the show by just showing the desktop.
Don't just show us. It's great if you just go right into it.
Well, here,
who doesn't want to see? Look at Matt. He's a beautiful young boy.
Just show us a little bit.
Why are you wearing your?
Just play with your VR and balls.
Why are you wearing your VR? What the fuck are you doing, Matt?
I decided to watch the podcast through my VR headset today.
You could do that?
We're not. We don't.
Why isn't there a Twitch app for Skyrim?
We don't stream. Like we don't stream in VR.
Oh, I can watch Google Chrome.
I don't think
through my VR headset.
I've streamed. Jeremy, I hate to stand against you here,
app.
but you can stream porn in VR. So I've heard. So,
but I don't know that you can do that on Twitch in VR.
I mean, it's through Google Chrome.
Yeah, through the Chrome app.
There's a desktop app on Steam.
Skyrim VR. Just use the Chrome app.
Well, I mean, I'm looking here on Discord, and it says that Matt's playing Super Hot, though. So,
well, it's because he's a super hot guy.
That must be a glitch or an error of some kind. I'm definitely not playing Super Hot.
Oh,
yeah, Jeremy. Hey, you're kind of moving around a little bit there, bud.
No, there's a fly or something.
A fly. It's a fly in many locations at once.
There's how do you set yourself to invisible again? Never mind, I found it.
You found.
Nothing. No reason. Just.
Matt, you're playing Super Hot. I could see it. I could see it on Discord. I could see it on Steam. You telling me that both of them are having an issue?
Hey, can we pause the stream for a second? I'm watching. There's one of my buddies is streaming on.
It says that I'm playing it on Steam.
Yeah.
No,
I'm playing on Steam.
You're also streaming it, Matt. I'm watching it right now. I don't know how you missed that shot, by the way.
It must be like an error with Steam or something. But just to make you feel better, I'll take it off.
Well, I mean, shortly before you took it off, it disappeared from Steam. So there's that.
Is this a bit?
No, it's not a bit. We don't do bits here. This is all natural. Like it's an actual thing that happened. Reed, we don't. Are you calling? Are you
not the right script?
Are you calling me a liar, Reed?
I just like to say that I take this podcast.
Why did I get yesterday's script?
I wouldn't play a VR game.
I lit it.
Bring that naked PA out here.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Give me the new script. I'll get caught up. We'll fucking do it live. All right. Cut.
All right.
Go again.
We'll go
again.
We'll roll again. Oh wait.
All right. From the top.
I just like to point out that this hat that I'm wearing is not a VR headset.
That is a dope hat, though.
Dope hat, man.
It's a Kansas City World Series hat.
But hey, guys, we got some shit to talk about, though. Let's actually talk about games and shit.
Welcome to the Not Important Gaming Podcast.
Hi-ho.
I'm your host, as always, Jeremy, and with me are my co-hosts, Matt and Reed. Say hi, guys.
Oh, shit. Hi, guys.
This is me not playing VR.
And yeah, we got some big stuff to talk about. Our two big topics. What is funny?
Sorry, I pulled up I pulled up the podcast, and the name of our podcast is.
Oh yeah,
we gotta fix that. We're gonna have to do some brainstorming on that.
Well, I mean, we got 60 days before we can change it again. So yeah, as you can see, we've got a new.
Oh my god.
New podcast. This is your decision here. You're the one who chose this.
Yeah.
We may become famous for all the wrong reasons.
And it's pronounced NIG podcast.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
no one's going to see it that way.
That's not how they're going to see it at all. But this is
not
the bed.
Important gaming podcast.
This is the bed we've made.
Because that's what they called it during Jim Crow.
Oh
wow! Okay, no, we're not.
Oh no! Oh no!
So NIG podcast stands for Not Important Gaming.
Yes,
and the reason why we chose this is because the previous podcast was how many? The previous name was how many letters?
A lot of characters.
Not Important Gaming Podcast.
And read
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24 characters.
You know what?
I love how high you can count.
You know what? Let's just move on from this. We'll talk
in actual reality, and just in all seriousness. Yeah, we changed the name of the podcast just to make it more accessible to people and whatnot.
It's easier to search because it's less letters.
We didn't change the name. We just changed the URL.
Yeah,
still same old podcast, same old us, just a little more racist. All right, let's go ahead and talk about. Our two big topics today are going to be...
Why? Not why we did it.
Our two big topics today are Australia forcing Zenimax to refund Fallout 76. Specifically a consumer rights advocacy group within the government of Australia. We're also going to be talking about Blizzard's president issuing an apology.
Mostly just BlizzCon.
At BlizzCon. But we'll go ahead and talk about that when we get to it. Let's start off with something smaller, though. Reed, why don't you take us away with something, a little less racist than we normally do?
Hey.
Just go.
I'm a big... okay, so, all right. There's another thing. I'm going to pull this up real quick.
No, don't. Just...
Pull it out, Reed.
Wrestling...
pull it up.
What are you looking up, Reed?
YouTube, Doom, Boom. Just a quick little thing that we can... No. Oh, fucking A. Alright, well, we'll come back to it later, but okay. One of my favorite games, Undertale, made by the wonderful and creative person, Toby Fox. And Toby Fox made a little song. He made a track for Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's very nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
We got this statement here from Toby Fox on Twitter saying, "Hey, I was finally allowed to announce this. I was asked to compose a track for Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's a huge honor to be asked to be part of something like this. I hope you enjoy hearing it when the game comes out." And he has a cute little drawing here, which I'll throw up on screen for you. I don't know if he did it. But in memoriam, Toby did a song for Pokemon 2019. And he's got what I think is an Eevee. So yeah. There we go. Really cool.
Alright, I'm posting a link, and just because the mentioning Toby Fox reminded me of this. This happened this week. Can you put up the second link? With how things have been going, I need to get into wrestling, guys.
Alright, before we do that, what is it? What's a Pokemon? Is that like an animal shoved inside an Easter egg or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, pretty much. Matt, you're a fucking boomer.
Did you hear that boomers are upset about it? That slur
about okay, boomer. Yeah.
Boomers? Is that like a type of underwear? No, those are bloomers.
Yeah. Okay, so I've heard about AEW. I've heard AEW is actually really cool.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember this. This has to be the intro, right? I didn't give you the wrong... I would never give you the wrong link, right? Oh, you might want to jump to like 1 minute. Like exactly 1 minute.
Well, let's just watch the whole thing. It's like 2 minutes long.
Oh, okay, sure. So yeah, God, fuck. This is so cool that they did this. Sorry, I'm just distracted. You've played through Undertale, right, Jeremy?
No, I've actually never played it. Oh Christ! It's the meme song, though.
Not, dude. This is the hype song.
I've only ever heard it as a meme.
So the fact that he dressed up as Sans, did the whole intro, it's so fucking hype.
That's kind of awesome. Yeah.
He did this for Halloween. He's done this for stuff in the past. Shout out to Kenny Omega, fucking badass. I guess I have to get into wrestling now. Also, anybody that has never played Undertale hates video games and art. So
this is true. I hate both of those things.
Yep.
Why else would I be running a gaming podcast if I didn't hate these things?
Because, you also like pain, because you're a masochist?
That's also accurate.
Yeah. And then he went on to fucking lay the smackdown on some poor bitch-ass fool. Don't even know.
Yeah, I've recently...
I need to get into fucking wrestling, man.
I've recently been getting back into wrestling. It's fun. Did you never get into wrestling?
No.
No, it's fun. It's... like some goofy stuff, and it's always a good time.
Oh no, I'm on the in know. Like I know what's up, but I was never into it. But now that it's like kind of like new age, everyone's like self-aware. Now it's like great.
It's been self-aware though.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. I thought that they thought it was real.
No, no, that hasn't been a thing since like the 80s,
the 90s,
maybe like early 90s.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, hey, guess when I was born?
Stone Cold, The Rock, like they all like the always kayfabe rule like got lifted a while ago. So they could go around and be like, oh yeah, no, it's fake as shit, it's all acting. But
the kayfabe rule, what?
Yeah, it basically when you're in character, it's called kayfabe in wrestling. There's a lot of like special terms for normal things.
Yeah.
Where there's like a special term in wrestling. So kayfabe is what it's called when you're in character. There used to be a rule that you always had to be in kayfabe. Basically, so like if you were at the bar and a guy that you were feuding with showed up at the bar, you couldn't be like, hey, what's going on, Tom? Sit down, have a beer. It had to be like this big, like you had to stand off and you stared at each other from across the bar.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now that's been lifted, and everybody knows that yeah, they're co-workers who put on a show. They're not actually like the Undertaker's not an actual literal wizard. It's
anybody that thought it was real
sure?
is just like their eyes are messed up or something, because those guys don't come up like it was rare that somebody was bleeding during a match. I mean, they did bleed sometimes.
Well, they did
like
they did bleed.
Somebody slams their like someone else's face into their knee, and then like body slams him, and like their face is like they're gonna.
The point isn't about whether or not it's real or actually. It's like all about it's the performance, right?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah,
And I think
it's really good theater, actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at it as theater, it's like it's like theater for white trash people.
Whoa.
Oof.
Whoa.
I feel really attacked right now.
It's a joke. Come on. Everyone knows that white trash people don't like anything. No,
That's true. I don't like anything.
Well, we've changed the name of the podcast. We might as well just start
We
with
might
this.
as well just fucking shit on everyone now.
Oh no. What have I done?
I tried to warn you. I tried to warn you, and you told me to go ahead with it anyway.
Well,
you made.
If we survive the next 2 months, we'll be lucky.
Fuck. We don't have any viewers. There's not even going to be anybody to report us.
Oh my god. Let's talk about something else.
And before I look over and we have like 20 new viewers.
Let's go ahead and talk about something else though. The Japanese government honors Shigeru Miyamoto as a person of cultural merit.
What a G.
Yeah, this information coming at us from Kotaku. Author Brian Ashcraft
Hey, he's one of my favorite Kotaku authors.
The article, it's a fairly short article, so I'm just going to read through it real quick. Each year, the Japanese government honors people for their important cultural contributions. Included in this year's Person of Cultural Merit honorees is Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto. Congrats! Those awarded the merit come from a variety of fields, including the arts, music, science, and academia. 20 individuals were named as Person of Cultural Merit recipients, including Miyamoto. As Nikkei reports, others that got the award were manga creator Moto Hagio, filmmaker Nobuhiko Obayashi. It's just those two. Previous honorees included Shigeru Miyamoto or Shigeru Mizuki of Gegege no Kitaro fame in 2010, and Studio Ghibli's Hayao Miyazaki in 2012. That was a whole lot of names. He kind of
looks to me like he ate a Sour Patch Kid in the photo.
We're not gonna touch that.
I did a quick look, and everybody that has been on this list before, or at least that's on the Wikipedia page, he's the first person who is involved with video games. And the manga author is the first one who on this list has been listed.
I think that just has to do with the fact that video games are only recently becoming like recognized as art.
And this might lead into maybe one of our first sort of semi-major topics, and how video games are kind of coming into their own. People are starting to take them a bit more seriously. I still think we have a long way to go for people recognizing esports, and how big of an industry that's becoming. But the video game industry, and we've said it before, and people say it, and I think it's only just now starting to sink in, where the video game industry is the biggest entertainment industry in the world. It's bigger than movies, it's bigger than music, it's bigger than television. I think the only thing that may be bigger might be like YouTube videos, but I could be wrong on that. There's no public numbers on that. In the first 3 days, and this are kind of leading to our first topic, Modern Warfare, the one that just came out, doubled the box office release of Joker. More than doubled. In the first 3 days. So, Joker is the biggest rated R released ever.
I believe
it's the biggest. I think it's the biggest release in 2019. So, one game that's come out this year, Modern Warfare, is the biggest entertainment release this year. Is a video game, and I wonder how many years that's been ongoing without people recognizing it. So,
to me, it makes a lot of sense. As a functional product, the movie you go to see, it's maybe $10. I mean, if you get snacks and drinks, it's more obviously. But so you take a kid that goes, they pay $10 to see the movie, but it's 2 hours maybe of entertainment that they get from it for $10. They pay $60 for the new Modern Warfare game, and they get 60 hours.
At least, if you're playing the multiplayer, it could be hundreds.
So the comparison for how much money you're getting for or how much like you're getting out of the product that you're buying, like the ratio is much higher for video games, like what you get from your money, like what you get for your money.
She said it sold it outsold Joker on Joker's first week.
Yes, it may. So I don't know how much it made in the first 3 days, but the release said that it made $600 million in the first week.
Well,
wow,
that's
big.
600 million.
Oh, no. Do you get the
yep.
reference?
Okay. That's life.
I would. I'm old. I would have got it, but I'm old.
By comparison, Modern Warfare 2, I think, made $500 million. And to show you kind of like what sort of numbers they're working with, the development cost for Modern Warfare 2 was like $235 million. So.
Yeah, so looking at the actual reviews themselves, we've got the review thread up here on Reddit posted by Diogenes. I'm not going to pronounce that. Diogenesl, so thank you for posting this. The review aggregate on OpenCritic is an 84 average with 100% recommendation. Some of the major...
Wow, 100%, huh?
Yeah, some of the major outlets are saying things like Game Informer, Andrew Rayner, gave it an 8.8 out of 10. Leveling up guns is ridiculously fun, and the breadth of modes keeps this experience from feeling repetitive. This is a game that you can sink tons of time into. PC Gamer gave it an 80 out of 100. Modern Warfare evolves a series for the better, but it could be so much more. GameSpot, Callie Plage gave it a 7 out of 10. 2019's Modern Warfare both draws on the original and lays a good foundation for the rest of the series, despite some thematic issues and co-op pitfalls.
Yep. I will say these are all kind of short blurbs. After doing a bit of digging, one, a lot of reviewers have not posted their reviews yet, either A, because they weren't invited out to the event that they had a lot of the reviewers come and play the game at, but also the fact that a lot of reviewers who did get invited out, they felt that it was a very enclosed, very contained experience, and it's not going to be indicative of what the average user would be, so they're delaying the reviews.
Yep. Also, I will say, part of the trouble with reviewing a Call of Duty game is the fact that your initial review, like for when the game comes out, at least as of the last handful of Call of Duties, has not been representative of what the actual product has been.
Well, also, it's like you don't know what the servers are going to be like. You don't know what...
Well, I mean, in terms of, like, especially in monetization, like, I know the last Call of Duty, they actually changed, they waited until the reviews came out, and then, like, a month later, they added all of their, like, loot boxes and stuff like that into the game.
Exactly.
So
yeah, that's fair. And they pinky promised they wouldn't this time, so we'll wait and see.
They pinky promise, but we know how Activision is about pinky promises.
On the good side, however, this is the first time in a while that they've put a lot of investment into their single-player campaign, and every single review that's talked about it has said that the single-player campaign is one of the best in the series so far, comparable to some of the greats of like the original Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2.
Yep.
Not only does it look gorgeous, but the writing and the voice acting has been really good, and that the gameplay and the missions themselves have been very fun and varied. So I'm hoping that is, something that Activision can take away from this and say, hey, yeah, we could save, a little bit of money by not doing that, but that it's still worth it. It's still a profitable thing for them to do. So,
yeah.
And for everybody else, make good single player campaigns, please.
Yes, I agree.
I don't want to spend time with other people. Don't make me.
I want to stay inside and play video games. It's just like high school all over again.
How's it supposed to make me feel right now, Reed?
It's supposed to.
Have you thought about my feelings? You don't like.
We played Destiny the other day.
I never think about your feelings, Matt.
No.
Yeah, I know you don't, Jeremy. But I'm talking about Reed. Reed is more sensitive.
I'm a soft, squishy boy. In all the right places.
He is a true. I think I've made Reed cry before.
You have. I wish you wouldn't have hit me so hard, but I deserved it.
But in regards to like the new Modern Warfare game, I haven't played it, but I've played the other like previous single player Modern Warfares, and they're really good. So good for them for doing something right.
Yeah, and I think it might be something that maybe we should we could pick up and then maybe play like. Oh, maybe off. Oh, no, not for the podcast, but I mean, like play like co-op. Not you, Jeremy.
I want to play with you. And well, I don't really. We still got the Blizzard thing going on, and I don't. Activision's part of that. They're doing their best to stay out of the limelight and go, no, that's a Blizzard thing, but Activision's wrapped up in it too.
But see, I'm a hypocrite. I don't care what.
That's my thing is I've absolutely been on the bandwagon for like, oh, we're gonna boycott these games, and then the game they unfuck the thing that they fucked up, and they've been like, oh, it's okay now. I want to actually like stick to my guns this time.
Well, if that's not a fucking segue into our Blizzard topic, I don't know what is.
I agree though. So we had BlizzCon this last week.
It is not last week. It was yesterday and today. Oh, Epstein
mobile
didn't
games
kill himself.
Wait, what?
Any new mobile games come out?
Who's that from?
Just somebody in the chat.
What's up, boys?
Hello. Go ahead, Jeremy or Tyler or Matt.
It's me. Yeah, we got let me find the thing because I just got distracted by chat. Blizzard news. Here we go. So we got some stuff here from BlizzCon, coming from our games. The actual discussion thread here. Providing a bunch of the relevant links. We'll start with some of the announcements.
I want to start off with what happened at the beginning.
Sure.
Of BlizzCon. The president came out. So there's a lot of trepidation of what's going to happen going into BlizzCon. Are there going to be a million protesters? Are they going to be lighting the stage on fire? Who knows? And Blizzard, I don't know if they have been fucking paying their PR guys extra money or whatnot, but they came out swinging. President came out and he apologized for all this stuff, and he took he basically said we acted too quickly. He says I accept the consequences. We fucked up, and I'm sorry.
We have the video.
Yeah. Oh, do you have the video?
I have a video I pulled up here.
Is it a video or is it the video?
It's the video of the president apologizing. Now, granted, the person who uploaded this definitely put a lot of their opinions into it. I'm going to try to cut past those and just get straight to what he actually said.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Let's go ahead and roll the clip. See what's going on.
This is a real clip. Definitely what happened. Okay, I thought you were gonna play the other one.
You know, Blizzard.
Rewind this a little bit.
I want to say a few words. You know, Blizzard had the opportunity to bring the world together in a tough Hearthstone esports moment about a month ago.
Was this guy in the TV show Highlander?
We did not. We moved too quickly in our decision making. And then, to make matters worse, we were too slow to talk with all of you. When I think about what I'm most unhappy about, there's really two things. The first one is we didn't live up to the high standards that we really set for ourselves. And the second is we failed in our purpose. And for that, I am sorry, and I accept accountability. So what exactly?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, look at that love.
So, Reed, you're the one who has like a big thing for apologies.
Yeah, this is missing some of the big key aspects. I mean, yeah, he okay. One, he didn't specifically break down what the problem was, which is so like they say, there's.
Hey, Reed, you want to bring your gain down just a hair?
Yeah, I already did.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
He did it.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm on it. Yeah.
He already did it, Jeremy.
Yeah. So there's 3 elements of a good apology. 4 technically, but 1 is talking about the issue at hand. 2, taking complete and total ownership of the problem. 3, recognizing how your actions affected the parties affected. And 4, talking about how you're going to make it right again. He sort of talked about the issue, which kind of hit on 1, but he never specifically mentioned Blitzchung. He never talked about the protests, and he never mentioned China. He never even mentioned those things. He just kind of talked about it. And if you took it out of context, it could have been a generic apology for pretty much anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he can't mention China if he wants to see his family again.
Exactly. 2, he did take ownership of it in a really sincere way, and I thought that was good. But then he never talked about the first part. He never could talk about how it affected the people. He never talked about how Blizzard's effects talk about silencing political speech and making sure people that want to be heard can be heard when they're trying to bring up important issues. So he missed on that mark. And 4, there's no action, right? He apologized, but are they going to revoke his sentence? Are they going to give the casters? Are they going to take back the ban for them? No. So it's a nice sounding apology, but is it a good apology? And no, not really. But they had to do something, right? Or else it was gonna be a fucking shit show all week long.
You know what it sounded like to me? It sounded like somebody making an apology where there's a mobster with a knife, and they're like standing right behind them, like pressing the knife into their back to like make sure they say the right thing and not say like too much.
Well, they actually they did release a second apology clip.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that one up on screen as well. So here we go.
Hello, I'm Tony Hayward, President and CEO.
Just ignore the BP there.
Oh, this is the other apology that they released.
Yes.
Tragedy that should have never happened. And to all those affected, I want to say, we are deeply sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry.
This was.
We're sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. We're sorry.
You guys get the idea though.
This is actually okay. Real talk. That's actually a better apology than the one that they did at Blizzard, because he actually mentioned the issue where the other Blizzard guy never even mentioned it. So
from Idiot Syncretic Podcast, not a single person involved with BlizzCon will ever respectfully own up to the riots, fights, or fight for democracy. The smartest thing a corporation can do is appease whoever is filling their pockets closest to the brim. He also finished it off with, "We're sorry."
I mean, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. In my opinion,
I agree. Yeah, it's very much a thing where they're trying to. It's a shallow apology to try and get the fans off their back, but also not. They don't want to directly address it because China holds a major share in their company. It's like what, 5%? Was that what we figured out the other week?
15%. I think it was like 13 point something, but I don't know. It's also kind of wonky because there's like other stuff that's not tracked. But yeah,
but
he didn't say anything wrong, right?
Yeah,
because we've slammed like CEOs for like saying just like terrible stuff when they should be apologizing.
He didn't lie. He just didn't say
it wasn't
the parts he said were very nice sounding. You're not wrong.
Yeah, he just didn't offer anything in specific. He didn't offer anything of any real substance or value. And that was
right. I mean, the lawyers and the PR people sat down and they're like, okay, what can we say? And what can we have the CEO say without like going too far? And then they came up with like 2 sentences.
I love these emoji spams, by the way.
Dude, it's great. Everyone loves emoji spam. So that kind of opened up the door to BlizzCon, and I was really wondering like how this BlizzCon was going to go and what the narrative was going to be. Obviously, last year we saw the narrative taken over by their mobile game, and thank God they didn't announce a mobile game this year.
That would have been a train wreck.
There were a couple sort of like leaks ahead of time as to what we were going to see, and those leaks were kind of proven to be true when we got confirmation of both Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4. Well, I guess we'll start with maybe like Overwatch 2. What is your initial thoughts on that? Are you guys players of Overwatch?
I haven't played Overwatch in a while, and I think I've made my opinion of Overwatch very clear, in that it's fine as like a casual game, but as an esport, which is what it very much wants to be, I think it fails on several levels.
Not on the viewership level. They pulled down 1.1 million viewers. Not
on the viewership level. You're definitely right about that. But in terms of like it trying to be a competitive shooter to compare to games like Counter-Strike and Rainbow Six. Now, obviously, a lot of it's going to boil down to taste. But the biggest things in what makes interesting esports viewing to me is the ability to have characters be played multiple ways, or be able to pull out really interesting and surprising strats. But I just feel like you don't ever get that with Overwatch esports. It's always like Mei is played like Mei, Genji is played like Genji. There's no like changing up the formula.
Yep.
Unless, of course, Blizzard decides the formula needs to be changed and reworks a character or changes how they work.
Or if China decides that the formula needs to be Yeah, no.
Overwatch has a pretty strong following, though. I mean, their following is pretty solid, I think.
Mm-hmm. There was some of the things that we've heard coming out beforehand, which have since kind of been confirmed. So not only is it going to be another version of Overwatch, but there's also going to be a PvE element.
Mm-hmm.
similar to the events that they've hosted, which honestly I don't know if you've ever played, have been a ton of fun. Their Halloween event like a couple years ago was like super fun.
I
remember like a wave.
Their original Halloween event, and I had a really great time playing that.
And then they did like a police one.
Yeah, I haven't played any events since then. That was really close to when I stopped playing.
Yeah. So yes, do you want to maybe pull up the trailer or?
Yeah, absolutely, I can do that.
There's not a lot of gameplay in the trailer. It's mostly just like
fairly.
Yeah, I think this is one of those like early on announcements where they're just trying to build up a little bit of hype.
They probably want. Do you want the cinematic trailer or the gameplay trailer, Reed?
Gameplay for me.
Overwatch?
Yeah.
I'd rather see gameplay.
We'll start with cinematic and then gameplay, right? Okay. Like, that's how you're supposed to do it.
That's fair.
I have not seen this, by the way, so this is a fresh watch for me.
I mean, they make it look pretty good.
Yeah, dude, Blizzard cinematics are god tier.
They really are. This is 8 minutes, so we're probably not going to watch the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we can kind of like skip forward a little bit and see like what they're...
You know.
See what it's about here.
There need help.
Yeah, we'll see.
And right now, we're all they've got.
Well, hey, it's
Overwatch a whole lot, just because I'm not big on team-based objective shooters.
God, Blizzard cinematics look so good. Why don't they just make a movie already?
They should, honestly.
Bonjour, officer. We're here to help.
C'était un singe?
That's a cool character.
C'était un singe?
Hulk moment. He's just gonna throw him.
Good work, May.
Thanks. Watch your back.
Cutting forward a little bit.
Not in the middle of the fight scene.
It's all fight scene. The entire thing is fight scene. It's 8 minutes. It's 8 minutes of fight scene. We're not gonna watch the whole thing.
Your backpack.
Okay.
That could work. Trista, pause bomb. Here you go.
This is getting hot.
Anyone find it ironic that they're that May is a central character in cinematic despite all this? No? Okay, it's just me.
Okay. So do you guys think they hired out, like, they contracted a third party to make this for them?
They make them in-house? They make these in-house.
Yeah,
if they can do this in-house, then they could definitely do a full movie.
Oh, did you pull it?
Yeah, I pulled it.
Okay. Yeah, Tracer. Oh, those thighs. So they used to contract it out, and I think that once they had enough money, they just bought the animation studio and made them their own. So
it's because of all the damn hentai.
It's because the idiosyncratic. He knows what's up. Shout out.
Oh shit. Yeah, we'll pull up the gameplay trailer though, and we'll get a look at that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. And this is 3 minutes. We can watch the whole thing of this.
It's got the 2 next to it. I wonder what that means.
I am not a big fan of Lucio's new design. I did get a look at that.
It's happening again.
Also, I'm going to turn this down here.
Paris was just the beginning. This is a global invasion.
So, how's Overwatch enjoying our city?
It's beautiful, except for all the killer robots.
Look up there! That's the command ship!
Except for all the killer robots.
Oh, yeah!
You're with me. We're getting aboard that ship.
I kind of like that dude's on rollerblades.
One day.
It has been too long, Master. I can't do this.
So I'm curious to see like what the gameplay is going to be, or the single player is going to be. Is it going to be like a full story? Because it kind of looks like this. Looks like it is.
That would be sick, honestly.
It's not just null sector.
Like we were just talking about how we were glad that they put a single player into Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
So this is like a good example.
I mean, that's the only way they're gonna get me to play it.
I've got you, Papa.
But it looks good.
The one thing is, it does look like it's very much just the same game.
Teamwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll say that, but like a lot of what this looks like could have just been an update to the game.
You don't think they like upscaled the graphics or anything?
The level up mechanics, maybe. The graphics are upscaled a little bit, but not enough to like, not enough to get me wet, you know.
That's cool.
Ooh, that was cool. I wonder. That's new, right?
Yeah, a lot of these are new abilities.
I wonder if that has to only be for the single player, right?
That was also cool.
Other direction. I am good at pushing things.
Samurai sword.
I am good at pushing things. New look. Upgraded graphics. Shout out Mercy. Is Bay. New maps?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's free to play again, this is pretty tight. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I stand by my statement though. It looks cool, but it doesn't look like enough to warrant like a new game. Except for all the killer robots. Yeah, it's cool. I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't know that I would pay for a new game, if that's all it is.
I mean, if you're an Overwatch player, that's enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Hop in, play for a couple hours a week. That's all you need.
And fair enough.
It's a good fallback.
But what else did they announce at Blizzard though, or at BlizzCon though? So we do have some more information about Overwatch.
Yeah,
and that Jeff Kaplan made this statement: for all original players of Overwatch, you will get to play on all the same maps as Overwatch 2 players, including all the brand new maps, and you will get to play with all the same heroes. It will be a shared multiplayer environment where no one gets left behind.
Nice.
So that's what's frustrating. Is it an update then? With just like some paid features?
It kind of maybe like a branding? I don't know. It's not like a whole... It sounds like it's a sort of an offshoot of the same game that they're trying to just make it a separate version.
From Idiosyncratic Podcast, anything specifically new from the original to Overwatch 2? The big changes it looks like to me are the single player campaigns. Or the single player maps or modes or whatever it is. That to me looks to be about the only like new thing. Other than that, it looks like updated versions of characters, some new abilities, some new maps,
new heroes.
Yeah, new heroes. But nothing that couldn't have been done in an update, in my opinion.
We'll have to wait and see how expansive the new ability system is. Like that, if that's going to leak into the multiplayer.
They're absolutely I could absolutely be wrong. There could
major meta shifts and stuff like that.
But. Yeah. There could absolutely be more that we're just not seeing from this. And that would make sense.
Are they talking about a price point? A price point?
No, should be free to play.
Well,
I'm assuming
if they're saying that Overwatch and Overwatch 2 players are going to be getting are going to be together, I'm assuming they're charging for Overwatch 2, because otherwise they just say Overwatch 2 is going to be free and everybody can play it.
I will do some sleuthing. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you want to start talking about Diablo 4?
You said specifically, not specifically. My bad. My apologies, friend.
That's because it's Pacific, because
Reed lives on the Pacific coast.
We're coming to you live from the center of the Pacific.
Yeah, but we got. They also announced Diablo 4, which is the best possible thing they could have done in the wake of the Diablo Immortal controversy.
So it's not going to be a mobile game.
Yeah, it is not going to be a mobile game. It looks like there's going to be a full-fledged game. But this is another 9-minute cinematic, so I'm going to kind of skip around a little bit.
Okay, so it has been confirmed that Overwatch 2 is paid. Some are even say, why not call Overwatch 2 a paid expansion and be done with it?
That's what I'm saying. But here we go. Let's go ahead and look at...
Wow, the cinematic looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, just the cinematic team is amazing for Diablo or for Blizzard.
Wow.
Man, the tone in Diablo is always so good.
Thy divine wisdom guides me.
Quiet.
Though my path is wrought of darkness.
Shut up. They have our scent. Run!
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah, let me cut forward a little bit.
Show. This doesn't make any sense.
Dude, every man for himself.
Blood is the key. Blood is the key! What? I need two of you! No! Go! I'll hold them! Go! So, it says the blood of the willing goes... You gotta be kidding me! It worked! We have to help him!
He's dead already.
What about the dude that was holding him off?
That's what they're saying.
See, good friends.
Cutting forward a little bit further.
Wait, was that the dude from Metal Gear Solid?
No.
That was a joke.
Blessed I cried. Thy eternal light protects me. Thy divine wisdom guides me. Though my path is wrought of darkness.
Holy shit. Dude, what is up with action RPG or classic RPGs getting new versions of the game and them just being the most horrifying shit? The same thing with the cinematic trailer that we got for Baldur's Gate. It was just like the worst thing with that guy's teeth falling out.
Oh.
Come.
He looks a little like Pinhead.
A little bit.
Open your eyes.
Eternal light protects me. Eternal light protects me. Eternal light protects me.
God, that looks so good.
There is no light here. You came to the darkness for knowledge.
Yes.
And all the knowledge you seek is here. Surrender. Speak the words. Call her home.
By three.
Should have never gone to that place, dude. Jeez.
By three, thy way opens. By the blood of the willing, we call thee home. daughter of hatred.
What the fuck?
This is fucking wild.
I haven't seen something like
Hellraiser.
This.
Hey.
There's nightmare fuel.
Lilith.
Yeah.
Blessed Mother, save us.
Wow.
That's crazy. Oh, her cape.
So yeah, that's the cinematic trailer for Diablo 4. Wow.
That was intense.
Oh shit! From Idiot Syncratic Podcast. You boys excited for Death Stranding? Where I'm gonna find the time? No idea, but I'm buying and playing it. That's actually a good chance to bring up Death Stranding.
Okay, just wrap up BlizzCon.
Yep.
They also announced the new World of Warcraft expansion. If you want to see the cinematic for that, you can go check it out. As somebody who recently played WoW Classic, slowly learning all this shit. It's really been interesting because basically this BlizzCon probably was the best thing that Blizzard could have hoped for. They announced a lot of new games. Almost nobody's been protesting at the conference.
Which is surprising. I definitely thought we were going to get a bunch of Winnie the Poohs there.
Yeah, no such luck.
I actually saw a bunch of Winnie the Poohs on Halloween. A lot of people dressed up as Winnie the Pooh.
That's funny. That's basically it. I know a couple of games journalists are not sharing anything and also in like their sort of protest, but yeah. All right, so that's pretty much been BlizzCon. Yay for Blizzard. Give it 2 months and we'll forget all about how they are the worst.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fucky. But a surprisingly successful BlizzCon for Blizzard. Congratulations, you boys pulled off what I thought was not going to be possible. Moving on, we had Death Stranding brought up in the in the comments, so we'll go ahead and we'll talk about the review thread for Death Stranding because I, being a huge Metal Gear fan, have been looking forward to Death Stranding for years. I've gone to 3 colleges since Death Stranding was announced, and I am less than a week away from finally getting my hands on it. When I was going to ITT Tech, I wrote a paper about Death Stranding for my composition class.
Hey,
that's how big big of a deal this game has been for me. So looking at the reviews on on the review thread, we have this here that the Open Critics scores at 86 on average, with an 83% recommendation over 73 reviews. But what's interesting is we're getting a really wide spread of, I think, the highest score on the list is a 10 out of 10. And the lowest score that we see that's on there is a 3 out of 10. As a matter of fact, somebody actually did a tally in the comments of what the spread was for all the reviews. So 10 out of 10, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 10 out of 10s. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 39 out of 10s. Only one single 3 out of 10. 9 seems to be the most common score. However,
Power Up review, 3 out of 10. Death Stranding is not entertaining. As such, it fails as a video game. It fails as a narrative, and it fails overall. Wow.
Yeah. They were not impressed.
Someone has an axe to grind.
There were, however, several outlets that just outright refused to give it a review. Part of the reason was because part of the review embargo, before you could release a review, you had to have finished the game, which is kind of a ridiculous embargo in my opinion. But that's what they put in place. Looking at what the reviews we were able to get, though, we'll look at... so yeah, you read the 3 out of 10 there from Power Up. But looking at some of the other ones... let's grab one of the 10 out of 10s real quick. This one from Gaming Trend. Death Stranding is a story of rebuilding America by connecting people far and wide. Stealth, exploration, combat, and inventory management are all necessary in order to succeed. With a fantastic cast, incredible set pieces, and engaging story, and Kojima's brand of incredibly enjoyable crazy, you won't want to put your controller down. Another 10 out of 10.
These are all just from watching the trailer. They haven't actually played the game.
Yes,
right?
they have.
The game has been in the review wilds for about 2 weeks now, but the embargo just lifted yesterday. The review embargo just lifted yesterday.
The embargo requires that you finish the game. You have
to finish the game before reviewing it.
A 5 out of 5 from Daily Star. Death Stranding is the most unique big-budget game I've ever played. A socially minded injection of inventive ideas into a genre that has long survived by being lazy and brutish. This ambitious formula flipper is brimming with empathy and carefully courts cinematic influences, an ensemble cast, and a world of eye-watering scale, delivering a sticky gameplay loop to tie it all together and create a console generation defining experience. So that's what the people who are like giving it the top scores are saying. But I also want to look at some of the lower scores. So for Hardcore Gamer, they got a 3.5 out of 5. Death Stranding is a cerebral experience that isn't fun. Another one, where is it? A D from player2.net.au. Many expect things of Hideo Kojima, but it takes a degree of self-confidence to deliver something else instead. He left Konami because he wasn't allowed to take the time and spend the money to make the game he wanted. So it is depressing to see Death Stranding make so many mistakes that appear on some level to be dictated by what people expect. And the last one here from Stiviver, author Steve Wright, 3.5 out of 10. Even if Death Stranding's narrative was good, and it's not, a game needs to have actual gameplay. What you find within its abysmal, frustrating, tedious, and beyond repair is it is to be avoided at all costs. So the reviews are incredibly polarizing.
Yeah.
You have people saying it's either the greatest game of a generation,
which is pretty indicative of like an art piece, right? So it's like if you're into it and you're into the art, then it's like, you know, it resonates with you. But if you're in there to have a fucking fun ass time, it might not be the game that you're looking for. It's not the journey that you're looking to take, because you want to play a game to do different things, see different places, and be a part of an adventure, of a story. And if it's not not,
everybody's definition of fun is different.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, I'm not art games specifically.
But what we aren't hearing about is like functional problems, right?
Yeah, no, there's no complaints about functional problems. It all seems to be about people just saying that they didn't enjoy the game. From Idiosyncratic Podcast, I've heard it's extremely divisive, but isn't that part of what makes a game so compelling in the first place? The sheer idea of it being so different from anything experienced thus far. Yeah, I agree, and I think that's part of the problem. I think that's why it's getting these wildly differentiating reviews. Honestly, do I think, just based off the reviews, do I think it's a 10 out of 10? No, probably not. But I think just like you said, by the merit of it being, you know, just an incredibly unique game that you that not a lot of people are used to. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of people that don't enjoy it just because they haven't played something like this before.
I mean, how did people react to his work on Metal Gear 5, or not Metal Gear 5, but Metal Gear in general? Like, was it similar reactions to when he first started working on that?
When he first started working on it, I think it was well received, but also at the time, Metal Gear was a very unique concept, just like stealth games not being like a real thing in the cultural zeitgeist. But it was still like a basic concept. It's an action game. You go around, you kill bad guys, and you try to pass obstacles. But this is, I mean, we're talking about at a point in time where games are very clearly defined. Like Destiny is a looter shooter. Call of Duty is a standard first person shooter. Diablo is a hack and slash RPG. You have clearly defined genres now. It's not the Wild West like it was when the original Metal Gear was made.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe like people responded to his first work on Metal Gear the way that they're responding to this. I wonder if there's like a similarity there.
Well, what I'm getting at is that something that bucks the trend so hard like this. It's no wonder that some people are going to dislike it, because it's not what they're used to, and I know this is going to make me sound pretentious, and I don't mean to like throw out like, oh yeah, you just don't get it, but I definitely don't want to say for sure it's great, but it's considering I haven't even played it. But I think there is, to a certain degree, reviewers. I mean, we've known for a long time that the general reviewing reviewers not really the best at games. And I want to. I guess what I'm getting at is, I feel like maybe a lot of the people are missing out on the point of it.
Well, also, it's just sometimes people, because here's the thing: is this game isn't going to be for everyone, 100%.
Absolutely,
right? And with that in mind, it's those reviewers' job sometimes to represent that aspect of people being like, so if Joe Bro, who's all about that Call of Duty life, this won't be a good match. We need reviewers that basically let them know about that, right? So that's kind of what their function is.
I think, and part of this was I don't remember which reviewing outlet it was, but there's a guy for the reviewing outlet, and maybe I can find it in the comments of the review thread, because I remember people talking about it. That he was like the Metal Gear guy. And he was saying that he hated it. Where is it?
That he didn't like Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Well, because this isn't a Metal Gear Solid game.
Right.
Right? This is a fucking
something new.
Yeah, it's an art piece. I mean, I don't know what it is yet to kind of be seen, because obviously the game's not out yet, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna this game has to be out in the wild. I think a bit longer before it's really fully decided. Whether it's going to be overhyped or not, I'm not sure, but it's definitely going to be something. And I think it's going to be very beautiful, and it's going to be very artistic. But if it's like any other Kojima game, it's also there's going to be a heavy dose of what the fuck.
Yeah, one of the things I do remember seeing is somebody made a comment in their review that they didn't get a gun until like 25 hours into the game, like a real proper gun. So yeah, it's I mean, that was one of the things.
25 hours.
Yeah. And that was, again, one of the things that Kojima said was that it was going to be, this is not a game about shooting and killing everybody you run into.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, you just fucking skablattered that guy.
Dude, this thing, it's like the nastiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Just like me.
You know, I expected a much more visceral reaction from you when I played this portion of the game.
I've seen this before, so
have you? Okay.
Yeah. Ah, what a beautiful piece of creation.
For real, Playdead are actually amazing. They're fantastic developers. But to close out, I guess my closing statement here is I can definitely see why some people would not be impressed by this. But I'm just like we have been saying, the fact that it's not well received by some and lauded is the greatest game ever by others, I think definitely goes to show like how much of an art piece this game is as compared to it just being another by the numbers Call of Duty or even Metal Gear.
Well, the sad thing is we're not going to get it on PC till June.
Yeah,
next
it's going to be much later. I don't think it's June. I know it is June.
But that's okay, right? I mean, like, the fact that we're getting it next year is fine by me.
It's nice that we're getting it at all, you know?
How long was Red Dead 2 out before we finally fucking, found out what we're going to get, when we were going to get that, so.
Right.
Way too long.
At least we know.
Yeah. All right, but let's go ahead and move on.
Oh, God.
Talk about some of our other stuff. What?
I need to not look at the giant Ghibli bit machine.
Yeah, just stop watching it. It's super distracting.
Let's talk about Fallout 76 because we have ourselves another Fallout 76 shit show. Well, not another. It's just a continuation from last week.
Yeah. It's time for our weekly segment. Wow, what did Fallout fuck up this week?
Yeah, we have a couple of different dead horses that we're gonna beat. We'll start with Fallout.
It's not even dead horses. It's dust. It's like moldy, decayed fucking dust.
I know, but I'm actually interested to learn about it because I was thinking about buying a server.
Okay.
So Tyler and I can run around.
Let's so we'll start off with this bit here from the 1st of November, so yesterday. Zenimax to refund consumers for the Fallout 76 game. This is with the accc.gov.au. This is a consumer advocacy group in Australia that is now forcing Zenimax to return, basically admit refunds to customers of Fallout, or who have purchased Fallout 76. So the media release here reads as following. The ACCC has accepted a court-enforceable undertaking from 3 related video gaming companies after they acknowledged they were likely to have misled consumers about their consumer guarantee rights in relation to the online action game Fallout 76. The companies Zenimax Media Incorporated, Zenimax Europe Limited, and Zenimax Australia Pty Limited, together Zenimax, accepted that their actions were likely to have contravened the Australian consumer law. The ACCC received complaints that Zenimax representatives told consumers that they were not entitled to a refund after they had experienced a variety of faults with the Fallout 76 game, including, in some cases, problems with the servers, lagging, graphic, and visual problems. Zenimax has acknowledged that they are likely to have misled certain Australian consumers about their rights to a refund when they experience faults with their Fallout 76 game, ACCC Commissioner Sarah Court said. Zenimax will offer to provide refunds to consumers who contacted them between 24th November 2018 and the 1st of June 2019 to request a refund and have not already received one. Consumers who accept a refund will no longer be entitled to access and play the game. When a consumer buys a product, it comes with automatic consumer guarantees, and retailers must ensure that refunds and returns policies do not misrepresent what the Australian consumer law provides, Miss Court said. When a consumer has purchased a product that has a fault which amounts to a major failure, the Australian consumer law provides them with the right to ask for their choice of either a repair, replacement, or refund. Zenimax has also undertaken to amend its customer service documents and scripts to address the ACCC's concern about misrepresentation of the consumer guarantee rights under the ACL. Zenimax undertaking is available at Zenimax Media, blah, 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 blah. Basically, what all that boils down to is Zenimax fucked up. The game wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. Consumers complained, saying, "Hey, your game doesn't fucking work. Give me a refund." And Zenimax said, "No, you don't get a refund." So they contacted ACCC and were like, "Hey, I thought the law said we get a refund." And ACCC said, "Yes, The law does say you get a refund. So now we're here. I don't know. What do you guys have to say about that?
I mean, that's what the law is, right? You fucking lied to the people, so now you have to pay the price in a certain way.
Pretty much. We got this statement here from a Reddit user. Reddit user Zenimax. Bam! It took a year to get this refund. Thanks, ACCC. Bethesda was forced by the ACCC to give me my refund that by law in Australia I have a right to. Bethesda refused every attempt, made excuse after excuse, and basically told me to get fracked. I told them I would talk to the ACCC, and evidently many of my fellow Australians did the same thing, as they were forced to give us refunds. It only took a full year in ACCC to force Bethesda to give me my money back that they legally owed me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good job, Australia. Now
Yay!
So that's the legal issue that they got into. But that's not the only trouble they got into as of recently. They also have they just recently, they did their Halloween event. Were you guys aware that they were doing a Halloween event?
No, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they released this. They released this tweet here. With Halloween just around the corner, this week's Around Appalachia is filled with images to celebrate. Next theme, Reclamation Day. Comment your photos below or post them using the hashtag Fallout76 for a chance to be featured. Which somebody responded. Poor Fallout Twitter guys stay positive while the whole of Bethesda is burning down from shitstorms.
It's true. It is literally on fire.
But that was kind of their way of saying, hey, there's a Halloween event going on. But we have this Reddit thread, and a whole lot of people are commenting on it as well, with 1.9 thousand upvotes on the Fallout 76 subreddit. User Cyclopath, which I know he's posted a few updates about the Fallout 76 shit show. Way to go, Bethesda! Create a limited time event that you have to wait an hour to do that crashes the game for more than 50% of the time. This event is really fun, but it sucks because it crashes the game and you end up missing the end of the event you waited an hour to do. At least the rewards aren't as cool as Fashion Meat Week, so no need to try to collect all of them. At least I got the pirate outfit on my second completion, but I've had the game lock up and crash on me more than 5 times, and I've only finished the event 4 or 5 times. And yeah, that was my experience playing Fallout 76 pretty much all the time, was just constant crashes.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad when it first came out.
So it doesn't shock me that we're getting even more crashes from the game. But it's really unfortunate to see that happening because of their limited time event.
What I want to know is what's this bit about the whole class warfare? That's actually interesting to me.
That's a good question. We'll go ahead and move on to that. So, we have a couple of pieces here. We have an article from VG247, author Sheriff Saeed, on the 28th of October. Fallout 1 subscribers in Fallout 76 are being targeted by non-paying players. Fallout 76 first subscription service has created a class warfare within the game's world. The launch of Fallout First and a $99 a year subscription to Fallout 76 that grants members private servers, unlimited stash, and other benefits has been very rocky. The trouble started when player began reporting losing items stored in the advertised unlimited stash and being... this is a recap of the stuff we talked about last week. A number of Fallout First players in the game's main subreddit have been running into abuse from others who did not subscribe to the service. Fallout First members get exclusive icons, emotes, and other unique cosmetics that make them easy to identify, which can sometimes lead to them becoming targets for cyberbullying. A thread on the Fallout 76 subreddit has over 8,000 upvotes, is full of stories of First players getting targeted in adventure mode. Others talk about getting abused by groups of players anytime they use the First exclusive emotes. The divide between haves and have-nots has increased the friction in an already volatile community. Some, perhaps jokingly, have suggested creating a gated community exclusive to paid customers. Although some of this can be avoided by muting offenders or switching servers, there's no avoiding the massive potential for griefing the service created in the first place. It seems the story of Fallout 76 troubles will never end.
Oh yeah. Kill it.
And we have the actual Reddit thread where they talk about it, and we can kind of pick out some of the interesting stuff from that. This is from user Jimmy James Jr. 86. Fallout first players are being targeted in adventure mode. People are ganging up on Fallout first players in adventure mode and griefing anyone with the icon lol. Somebody commented, made a post the other day, Fallout first announced, people said that wasn't going to happen. Well, there you go. Class struggle in Appalachia.
Eat the rich. Eat the rich. Eat the rich.
They said, this is from user Ka the Human. I got beaten up when I decided to do the Mothman emote in Vault 51. At least 5 to 7 people in teddy bear costumes kept punching me. Somebody else.
Sounds like some GTA shit.
I know, it really does. From Jimmy James Jr. 86, take that stupid robot dance back to your private server was the best voice chat that I heard, lol. User Papa Shekels, and doing what exactly? You can't hurt them with tickle damage anymore. You can't destroy their camps anymore. You can't rob them or anything. Absolute worst that you can do is spam shit over voice message, annoy you with explosives, or follow you around trying to kill enemies before you can tag them. All three can be easily avoided with a mute and a block. Worst comes to worst, maybe a server hop. And last one I think that we'll read is Alien Fister. It's funny you mentioned this. Some approximately 150 level douchebags in ranger armor were bashing and shooting me during the collision course, then proceeded to take a workshop from a level 7. Lol. Seems like they're on adventure to grief people. Can't get that on a private server. So he said there's assholes on both sides of this issue. It happens. So yeah, fucking Appalachia is ablaze with class warfare. Eat the rich. Man.
If only there were people left to care.
On the topic of things that people shouldn't be caring about, let's go ahead and talk about Anthem.
Hey, Jeremy, is it possible for you to flip my camera without taking me down?
Sure. Why?
Or better yet, just flip his camera and take him down.
Every time I read my other monitor, it looks like I'm staring at Reed, like, lovingly.
And is there something wrong with that?
Well, it's just you're right next to me.
There you go.
I wish I was right next to you.
You are flipped.
Thanks, buddy.
Now you're leaning into him. All right, so
that's even better. Want a hug?
Yeah, let's do it, buddy.
Oh my god.
Let's see how do I make this work. Okay. Hey, oh wait, am I in the wrong one? Is this it? Am I doing it? Are we doing it?
Oh, my nipple.
Hey, oh no, I'm going the wrong way. I have to go this way.
I don't like this.
Oh my god, I look like a monster. Hey, there we go. Now we're hugging.
Hug.
Chad Robertson is leaving BioWare with absolutely no leads left on Anthem. We got this tweet here from Chad Robertson, who was the head of live service at BioWare. This is my last week with BioWare. I've been with the company for 14 years, and I'm grateful for everything I've been part of here. Star Wars: The Old Republic, Anthem, the Austin studio, and BioWare are in good hands. You can expect great things ahead. I join it as a fan now and look forward to playing BioWare games for years to come. I am very excited about the next step of my journey in the games industry and look forward to sharing that soon. The first reply here from user F Society. Anthem in good hands. Serious question. Which hands? It seems like all the heads of Anthem's departments are leaving or have already left. Good luck all the same. We'll go ahead and look at a Forbes article describing this. But just based off of that goodbye, anything you want to say about that goodbye?
Good for him for getting out.
Yeah, good for him. I don't know. This is Papa EA territory, right? Like fucking.
Yeah.
This is the end.
I don't think. It's the slow death of a developer that I used to love.
Yeah, well, there's literally no one left from what made BioWare good.
You know what we should do? We should make a meme of like a graveyard of developer companies that EA and other big names have bought and just ruined.
That's already a meme.
I think, dude, that's a great idea. No one has ever thought of that before, Jeremy. I think Matt's onto something here.
That's already been made. That's already a meme.
Yeah, I can tell from his fucking smart-ass remark. Okay,
I kick his ass, CUS.
Whoa, I'm sorry, Matt. I apologize.
You never
want to hug it out?
You never think about my feelings, Reed.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm so mean. Do you want to hug it out? We can hug it out.
No more.
You know what? I've got something for you, Reed. You want something? I've got something for you right now.
So over the article.
What do you got?
No,
oh no!
Do not do that. That is awful.
Okay.
So, from the article, author Paul Tassi from Forbes says, I missed the news the day it happened, but I just heard that BioWare has lost its head of live service as Chad Robertson has left the studio after 14 years. It's yet another pretty sizable departure from BioWare, the last one being Ben Irving, who was running Anthem at the time once Mark Dara and Mike Gamble moved on to Dragon Age. When that happened, I asked who would be heading up Anthem post-launch now with Irving gone. As head of live service, the answer appeared to be Chad Robertson, as he was the one who eventually published a blog post, in that instance quite literally being the face of Anthem, explaining what was next for the game. That post included some not ideal news about the rest of the roadmap, the future acts being scrapped in favor of seasonal content. That content turned out to be a reskin of the Cataclysm for a Season of Skulls Halloween event. We covered that at the time. Now, I have no idea who is running what remains of Anthem, if anyone. Robertson was clearly in charge in some capacity after Irving left, but I have no idea what's happening now. Jesse Anderson, community lead, recently got a new role, but he confirmed that he's still working on Anthem 2. I asked him who was running the Anthem show right now in the wake of Robertson's departure, but I haven't heard back yet. Coming a little further down, I'm often told to stop writing about Anthem because it's beating a dead horse, and yet I think these departures go beyond just Anthem. And I think many fans are a little concerned about the overall status of BioWare these days after two high-profile misses, Andromeda and Anthem, and the next game on the horizon being a new Dragon Age. While all these different people are leaving, I don't have any inside knowledge as to what's going on, but I'm kind of getting Blizzard vibes to a certain extent here. A studio that has produced some of the most beloved classics in the industry, sort of starting to meander aimlessly over time with a lot of high-profile names leaving. I no longer really care about hearing about future plans for Anthem because I simply cannot imagine they will be anything beyond the bare minimum of keeping the game alive on live support, if that. I'm starting to be curious about the state of Dragon Age and the potential future return of Mass Effect, even if that's years away. I just want to see what they're working on, since as fan, I am also very much wanting to get out of this down era of BioWare between their last two releases. But nothing yet, nothing but more departures.
Also, for people that are watching in chat, I shared the link to this article if you wanted to follow along.
Yes, that's I think this is a very good article for people to be looking at. Yeah, so it's I mean, at this point, does anybody here, do either of you guys know who would be taking over now that Chad Robertson has left?
I think Jeffrey, maybe.
Jeffrey?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, okay, the last guy died.
Maybe
so
Jacob, but probably Jeffrey.
You know, like when you're in a battle and like the captain or platoon leader like gets killed, and then the next guy steps up, and then he gets hit and he dies, and the next guy steps up. I feel like this reminds me of that.
I was gonna include this last link, but I really don't think it's really that important anymore.
Yeah,
it's just a link to that initial thing. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that.
When will this shit show end?
And it sounds like it's slowly coming to an end right now.
If Dragon Age does not land, BioWare is fucking dead. I'm calling it, man.
It's gone. It's over.
Yeah. Has anybody in the chat played Anthem? Dead. I'd like to know.
I played it for a bit, and it was serviceable at best.
It's just so half-baked and underdone and fucking, it's just an unpolished turd.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time focusing on things that didn't need to be focused on.
There were moments where it felt really good, but for the most part, it just sucked.
Yep. That was my experience as well.
Yeah.
But we'll go ahead and move on, I think, unless you guys have something else you want to add to it.
No, it just makes me sad.
Yeah, it's...
How much does Anthem cost nowadays?
I think they went free to play, didn't they?
They might be paying people to play it.
Let me find out. How
they absolutely should
is Anthem? It's $14.
It's $14. That's more than I figured they would charge for it. Let's go.
I kind of want to pay. It might be worth $15.
You think so?
Is that weird to say?
No.
Maybe.
Anything's possible.
You know, I think no one's ever thought this, but maybe we should do a review on it.
I need to finish.
God, I don't want to give them my money.
Reed, you don't help with any of my scripts anyway, unless I track you down several weeks.
I'm an elusive man. I'm like a Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, he's very thin, Jeremy. It's hard to get your hands on.
I have to keep an anonymous location. And oh my God, that's a liquor. Get. All right, just gonna nope out of the fuck out of that. BioWare is dead. Long live BioWare.
Rip.
Sorry.
Let's talk about Ubisoft because
everybody F in chat for BioWare.
Let's get some big Fs in chat, my dudes.
Yep. Yo, mod us in chat, by the way.
Oh yeah, I do need to mod you guys.
Yeah. Give me the sword.
I will do that later because I don't know how to do that off the top of my head.
Right click on my name, or left click on my name.
Mm-hmm.
Mod me.
Mod. There we go. And mod.
I have this power now. My plan has worked. You will regret the day you gave me this strength.
I already regret it. Just based off that outburst, I regret my decision. All right. Ubisoft admits Ghost Recon Breakpoint has been a disaster, from author Joshua Rivera on Kotaku. During earnings call Thursday, Ubisoft gave investors a brutally frank appraisal of Ghost Recon Breakpoint in its latest release, and vowed to implement significant changes to our production processes to fix the game. In a prepared statement you can read online, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot laid out the reasons the publisher believes the open world special ops shooter didn't sell as well as expected. The new game, released just 2.5 years after Ghost Recon Wildlands, moves the series action to a fictional island and introduced survival elements and a loot grind that struck many critics, including our own, as an unnecessary lightweight imitation of systems in other games, including Ubisoft's own Division series. Guillemot cites Breakpoint's underperformance and the Division 2's less severe but still disappointing performance as a primary reason for the company's just announced delays of some of its most high-profile upcoming games. I believe they're also, and I'm not seeing it in this article, but didn't they also report a significant plummet in their stocks as well?
Yeah, no, I mean, that was reported. So in one day it dropped like 20% or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That happens sometimes with like negative news, and then
give me
jump right
2
back.
seconds. Ubisoft.
And for those of you guys watching, whenever Jeremy's reading an article, I'll share it to you guys in the chat so you can follow along.
That would be pretty awesome. Who wants to get banned? Oh my god.
And then just gonna do a quick one of these. Boop boop boop. Cut and throwing it in the Discord chat. You can
in the Discord chat. Excellent.
Yep. That last little bit there at the end is.
I see. Yep, there is a pretty significant drop in stocks here. Although because it's in Discord, I can't throw it up on screen for you guys.
You can just click and open original and then full screen it.
Yeah, but then it fucks up.
For those of you guys just joining us, we're talking about how Ubisoft's new stuff isn't helping the company, and they just took a huge hit.
Then I will post it in the document.
I got it. I took care of it. In the future, could you post on the doc though? Yeah, here you guys can see the actual the plummet here. You see right around here is where there's a sudden drop in stock. Now, you can see it's already starting to pick back up, and I imagine they'll probably get back around even, or at least back to where they were sometime soon. But this dip right here was enough to scare the absolute shit out of them, which I think is a good thing.
20%'s a lot.
They announced a pretty major change to their policy as far as when they greenlight new games.
Yes, well, they haven't announced it, but it was discussed by Jason Schreier in the in Kotaku's podcast. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, we have this Reddit page here where somebody transcribed the actual statement. As user Forestel, Ubisoft is reportedly making developers pitch why their games are unique after the reception to Ghost Recon Breakpoint. On the newest episode of Kotaku Split Screen, Jason Schreier talked a bit about how Ubisoft is changing their approval process for starting projects. Here's a rough transcription. Conversations I've had with people are, now Ubisoft is changing their mentality big time. Now it's all about how you have to pitch your games as being super unique, having some unique aspect to it. It all sounds really wild. It's this really crazy atmosphere. Schreier also talks a bit about what he thinks the causes are for Gods and Monsters and Watch Dogs Legion. Gods and Monsters had a very tight deadline. The team working on it was most of the team behind AC Odyssey, which came out in late 2018. Schreier had heard people at E3 talk about how it was shaping up to be pretty messy. And Watch Dogs Legion was originally planned to release this fall, but was pushed back to March. The cause for this delay is probably just because the main system is really complex. So yeah, it's not an official announcement.
Better to delay and make a good game than to push it out and then get it.
I agree,
up.
and that's the big thing. Is
it's almost like a law of nature for video games.
Ubisoft is absolutely capable of making good games, and that's why I'm always so frustrated when I see them fuck up like this. Because Ubisoft has made some of my favorite games. They've also made some of my least favorite games.
Because if you release it early with problems, it's never going to be a good game.
It may eventually, but it's always going to have that
stank.
That stink hanging over it. But on the topic of fixing games, let's talk about what they're actually doing to try and fix Ghost Recon Breakpoint. In this statement here from Ghost Recon, the ghostrecon.ubisoft.com, it's just from the Ghost Recon team. They have is it 6 points? 5 points that they're tackling to try and improve the game. The first thing they talk about is their technical state of the game. Our first priority is improve the technical state of the game. We know many players had a difficult time with game bugs and unexpected stability issues at launch, and we are making every effort possible to address these issues as soon as we can. With Title Update 1.0.2 released on October 15th, our team made numerous improvements to the game, focusing on the most pressing issues that could be addressed in this time frame. We are working on further improvements that will be coming out soon with TU 1.0.3 in mid-November, including fixes on the drone deployment, on changing the fire rate, on NVGs blocking crosshairs, and on the mission completed notification pop-up. Title Update 1.0.3.1 coming around end November will include further improvements and updates on the most pressing community feedback. Next one, number 2 is post-launch content. As we focus on improving the game, we also want you to know that our commitment does not stop there. We are dedicated to supporting Ghost Recon Breakpoint to the long term with plenty of post-launch content and special events to keep the world constantly growing and evolving. You will get your first taste with Project Titan, our first ever raid, which will release in December, and the Terminator live event, which will release shortly after that. In order to make sure we remain agile and flexible, we'll come back to you with more details, including specific release dates at a later stage. Number 3 is in-game economy. We also heard the criticism regarding the in-game economy. That's why we are currently working to make adjustments according to player feedback in the next few weeks, making the experience for players more comfortable. Number 4, with AI teammates. We announced at E3 2019 that AI teammates would make a comeback in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and they will. The Ghost Recon Breakpoint was designed from the ground up to be enjoyed in co-op up to 4 players, and as an innovative pure solo experience. As such, adding back AI teammates to the game is a major undertaking that will still require time. We will update you as we progress towards their release. And the last point, number 5, freedom of choice. Finally, we are aware that some of the design choices made have caused polarized reactions and discussions regarding the direction taken by the Ghost Recon franchise. We are happy to see players embracing the new elements of the game, but we also understand that there are areas of improvement. Some of you would like our new survival mechanics to have more impact on your experience, while others dislike the tiered loot progression we have added. And one of the key elements of our vision for Ghost Recon is to immerse our fans in a gritty and authentic military experience. In line with this vision and the feedback we received, we are working on a more radical and immersive version of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. We also want to let you tailor your experience to the way you want to enjoy the game, since freedom of choice has always been part of the Ghost Recon DNA. It's still too early to share details on how that will work exactly, but it's of top mind for the team, and we will keep you updated as we progress. And finished out with the conclusion, basically saying that that's what we're working on right now, but we're also open to criticism. We're open to hear what you guys have to say about it, but that's not really relevant. Based off of those 5 points,
what I have to say about it isn't relevant.
No. I'm saying that section isn't relevant. Not important for us to talk about.
I think it all sounds nice, but characters usually described through action, or not described, but created through action. So I mean, if they actually fix it and then make it better, then that's great. But we saw so much with Fallout 76, like making promises and stuff. So we'll see. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll turn it around.
Well, Fallout 76, they never really made specific promises. They just said, "Yeah, we're gonna fix it."
That's using your thinking brain.
But we're seeing here that they're laying out specifically, these are the things that we are going to do to make the game better. We also want to know what you think we can do to make the game better. And that speaks far more than anything that Bethesda did for Fallout 76 or that BioWare did for Anthem. I mean, that's what tells me, and this is the thing, and this is why I always, I have this love-hate relationship with BioWare, is BioWare constantly, or not BioWare, Ubisoft constantly fucks up. They constantly make stupid decisions.
Yes.
But they're always there to go, hey, we fucked up.
What is going on right now?
Oh, yeah, you saw that. I had to stop.
So they've already fixed some stuff, right? So they fixed the number one thing they listed was the technical state of the game. They've already fixed that.
They haven't fixed it, but they made strides towards fixing it.
Because they released a title update on October 15th.
Yeah, they released an update to fix some of the technical issues. They said they're going to be continuing to do that with the next update. There's likely going to be more down the road.
But there's no roadmap with actual when it's going to happen.
There's no direct roadmap because I think they're still in the oh fuck, how do we fix this phase.
Man, that's rough. Maybe it's easier to fix when the game isn't already released, but when you have to send out a massive update to fix it, maybe it's more difficult.
No, it's just a matter of so the thing about bugs is it's not just, oh, there's a bug, let me slap a fix on it and call it good. If there's a bug, why is the bug happening? If I fix this, is it going to cause 10 other bugs? That I'm
99 bugs in the code. 99 bugs in the code. Take one down, patch it around. 256 bugs in the code.
Exactly. It's trying to patch out bugs is a really shitty task.
If only you could make an AI that could proofread the code for your games,
If you could make an AI that could proofread the code for your games, you could make an AI that could make the code for your games to begin with.
The problem is, Matt, is it's not like the game knows, oh shit, this body shouldn't be flailing around with his arm stuck in a vent. As far as the game is concerned, that's how it's supposed to be doing its job.
Right. I mean, you write rules and then you implement them for every setting.
Yes, but what I'm saying is if you could create a code to find the bugs and fix the bugs, it would take just as much effort as it would to just find the bugs and fix the bugs.
Yeah.
I know. It's a self-defeating.
It's I mean, if you made the future where you could make an AI that could do that sort of stuff is potentially like reachable, but it's a bit far in the future, and
but it's text, you know. I mean, if they can make one that can play Dota well, that they could make one that can like proofread text.
The problem is
that's honestly you're kind of right, but keep in mind the AI that learned to play Dota played like 100,000 hours worth of Dota, as well as had who knows how many hours of development and whatnot from the developers. So
you're also talking about something with the AI that played Dota. It had a very simple parameter. It had a very simple job that it had to do. Get this screen. Get this won the game screen. That's all it needs to do. But a AI that needs to learn how to patch bugs, it needs to know what a bug is. It needs to know what a bug is not, and it needs to constantly be updating as new bugs that weren't expected come up. And that's going to take a lot more effort, because you can't just, because again, if you have to define what a non-bugged game is, and at that point you should just be making the non-bugged game.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, so it comes down to they didn't do like tests on the game before they released it.
I mean, they very likely did.
They didn't do enough.
They very likely did, but the problem is that Ubisoft has had a release now, patch later attitude for a while.
Yep.
So it's not.
It's because they're trying to keep their development costs low.
Exactly. They're trying to keep the development costs low. They're trying to keep games on their upcoming schedule.
I can understand a little bit of why that makes sense, because
that's good, because it doesn't to me at all.
If a game is gonna bomb, right? So it's like, here's the thing: is if you get a game, and you could either spend $50 million making it, or you could spend $70 million making it like all the way. If it's a bad game idea and it's not going to sell, at the end of if you realize that after release, you're only out $50 million.
But it's like pharmaceutical drug trials. You bring in like random gamers to test the game out to see how they like it.
Well, yeah, you could try that. I mean, that's not to say that they don't do that, but sometimes at the end of the day, the shit that you start just doesn't fucking work out well. You know what I mean?
I thought, like, you know, it would cost the same amount of money for them to try and fix it as they go, instead of just making it right before they release it.
It does, but I mean, it's also like it's hedging your bets, right? So it's like, if you're not sure if this game is going to, if this game might be a total flop, not even worthy of any further investment, like Fallout 76.
So you think it's like a fear within the producers of the company, like they don't know if they don't think the game, they think that it might not be successful, so they don't put as much money into it.
Well, they want to reduce the development costs as much as possible, and then
the goal of a team is always to, or the
goal
of a publisher.
The publisher, well, the designers.
It's always have the smallest possible cost and the largest possible income.
Yep.
And if you can keep
everybody else that release,
if you can keep those two numbers in equilibrium, then your producers, your higher ups are happy.
So everybody else
that investors are happy.
Releases a complete game that doesn't have a bunch of problems like that, they're just rolling the dice.
Kind of. Yeah. But even if you make a complete game, like, everybody rolls the dice when they release a game.
Yep.
And it's just kind of like you're betting, right? So it's like,
is this going to be a good game?
If you
is this genre popular right now? Is this genre going to be popular in the 5 years it's going to take us to make the game?
Are there
why even start the undertaking of it if you don't already know that? I mean, you're already gambling $50 million. What's gambling another?
Because you have
million?
you have to pick something, Matt. If you're a game company that doesn't make games, you have to pick something.
Yeah, eventually a decision has to be made.
And sometimes even things that you think are sure bets aren't necessarily fucking winners, right?
I mean, when was the last time
Anthem? They thought Anthem was going to knock it out the park.
But it wasn't complete.
I mean, it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. I mean, the problem with the problems with Anthem were systemic.
Yeah,
you know, that was that I think was a bigger issue. And it was a game with no soul.
By the time they released it, they had to cut their losses. They were
but an RPG in a new fantasy world, like this sounds like a win for BioWare, right? On paper, it looks like a win. Monetarily, looks like a win.
Well, yeah, because somebody just released a new sci-fi BioWare, or not sci-fi BioWare, but sci-fi RPG.
Shooter RPG.
Yeah, and look at
Outer Worlds. It's fucking great.
Yeah, it does fantastic. It's not that there's no market for the game. That wasn't why. That wasn't why Anthem.
It was like the fact that every mission that you had to do had to be with other people. It was the always online aspect. It was just like you had to do it through the EA client. It was just a lot of things, man.
And the biggest thing, and I still stand by this today, is the fact that Ubisoft, or not Ubisoft, EA, no, not EA, BioWare. Thank you, BioWare doesn't know how to work with the fucking Frostbite engine. Like they don't. That's not a dig on them, because they asked multiple times, "Hey, we don't know how to use this engine. Can we please use the engine that we know how to use?"
Yeah, the engine. I mean, like what they did with the gameplay. I mean, maybe that like led to a lot of backtracking, like a lot of developmental loss, like development time lost. Them trying to figure out the engine, but the issues that ended up being the killer points of that game were like the gameplay, the setup and design of the missions, and all of that is balance.
All of that is dictated by how well you can work the engine, though. Like the engine isn't so magic. The engine is the game.
That's fair. No, you're right. You're right.
If you don't know,
I'm saying, but there's way more than just that. I'm saying it's. But that might have been the foundation as to why those were.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That's the core. Like when you take all of these problems, if you don't know how to make a more complex, more interesting mission, then go here, kill these things, then go to a different place and kill more things, then yeah, of course you're not going to be able to make an interesting, diverse game. You're only going to be able to make a game where you go to a place and you kill X number of things.
Right, I get it.
So,
I was just, I mean, I don't know. Just seems.
But to answer your core question, why don't they just finish the game and then release it? It's generally not the decision of the people who are making the game as to when to release.
Right. I know that. It just frustrates me.
And
what frustrates you? How the fuck do you think we feel?
Yeah, people who grew up
frustrates
with these games,
everyone,
or grew up with these developers.
Yeah,
like some of my most fondest like early gaming memories are playing Knights of the Republic.
Yeah.
All right, I got us off track.
Well, I think that kind of brings us back to the end, and I think we should wrap it up by talking about games that came out this week and games that come out next week.
Yep, I agree. That's your wheelhouse. Have at it.
Ew.
Hey-o.
Here's the shit, and it smells like poop. Hey, me say, hey. All right. Okay. Real quick side story. Just want to touch on this real quick. NCAA voted that the NCAA, being the National Collegiate Athletic Association, voted that athletes can profit from their likeness.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't hard set into the rules yet, but it's sort of like something that they voted on that'll be slowly rolled out. This has bearing because they will be able to profit off of their likeness in collegiate video games. So that's something that's kind of cool. A little bit of outside of the wheelhouse politics, kind of has a little bit of correlation, but I thought that was really cool. Maybe wanted to get your quick takes on it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm happy for them. I've always kind of
felt you're not a big sports boy.
I'm not, but I have at least a basic understanding. And knowing that's one of the things they do is college athletes aren't allowed to like profit from like interviews, things like that. I've always felt like that was a little fucked up. And I've never I've had it explained to me a few times as to why that is, and I've never felt like it's a good reason.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was exploitive and bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt?
Yeah, because those schools are making a ton of money off those kids.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Okay, so this week, a bunch of sort of like smaller indie games: Door Kickers, Action Squad, After Party, Close to the Sun. Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 came out for the Switch. And the Resident Evil Triple Pack came out for the Switch. Yakuza 4 came out for the PS4. And probably the biggest game that came out this week was Luigi's Mansion 3, which I'll take a quick peek. Overall has an 86 on Metacritic from the critical score, from the critic score. A lot of positive ratings, very few mixed ratings. So that's a game. It came out on Halloween. Super spooky, super great. I love Luigi's Mansion. Everyone's happy. But hey, next week we've got Just Dance 2020. Matt, I know you're excited about that one.
You talking about the game that got us copyright struck?
Yeah, exactly. Jeremy, I know you're super hyped for Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games for Tokyo 2020. That comes out for the Switch. Need for Speed Heat comes out, the game that apparently EA has been invested in, that I'm pretty sure will die on launch, but maybe I'm wrong.
Need for Speed has been a dead franchise for a while.
Used to be a good game.
It used to be, yeah.
Disney Tsum Tsum Festival is coming out for the Switch on November 8th. Layton's Mystery Journey. Other than that, I can't think of any other game that is coming out next week. No other one. None. It would. Gosh, if I could think of, I'm not going to think of it. It's going to be The Death of Me.
The most hyped game this year.
But if people insult me, I'm not going to take it standing. It's going to be The Death of Me standing.
And I don't mean hyped by the media, Jeremy. I just mean hyped by game players.
People who actually care about games. There's no good games that are coming out next week.
All right, so no, I want to have this argument actually, because Matt brought this up before the podcast. That he feels like Death Stranding is like overhyped. And the same thing with Cyberpunk 2077. So I got a bone to pick with you, Matt. We're gonna have it out. We're gonna get your dukes out, bud.
That's good.
Because we're gonna have
whip my dick out. All right, you said it. Let's.
All
right,
Matt,
it's in my hand. Let's go.
For all the lovely ladies and gentlemen watching our show, go ahead and lay your case out as to what exactly the problem is here.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I don't like the long-term hype that goes along with like the new games that are coming out. I know why they're hyped, because it's marketing. Plus they get to see the public's reaction to a new game that might be coming out, so maybe the investors will put more money into it if it gets good response, like people are excited about the possibility of this game coming out. I get all that. I just don't like it. And I don't like it because I'd like to hear about a new game coming out like maybe a month before it comes out. I don't want to see a year of gameplay trailers and cinematics and stuff like that, because it's like I've already spent a year watching the game, and haven't even played it. And so when it comes time to play it, it's almost underwhelming. Like I'm not even excited for it anymore. That's what I was trying to get at.
Are you
didn't explain
a fan of more like the tease and don't tell kind of thing?
If they were to, like, a year before the game comes out, they say, hey, we're going to make this game, but there's no cinematic trailers, there's no gameplay videos. They maybe 6 months later say, hey, we're still working on this. But I don't want to see, and this is the release date, this is when it's going to come out. That's cool with me. But I don't want like all the press interviews and all this other stuff that goes on, like
the Conan Conan Beaver suit and the Rick and Morty.
Just all of it. Like, I want to just bring it out.
Well,
like, maybe bring out a trailer 2 weeks. Like, bring out an actual gameplay trailer 2 weeks before it actually hits. Well, people are going to be excited about it. They're thinking about it for the next 2 weeks, and then they actually get to play it, and the excitement's still there. But you spend a year excited about a game. I don't even know if I'm excited about Death Stranding anymore. I've been super hyped about it like so many times that it's like the fun of like the new game coming out is like almost gone now. That's me.
Yeah, I disagree though, and this is why. I think it's important, and it's important. I mean, you even acknowledge what the reason is. It's marketing.
It's just me. It's my personal taste. I just don't like it.
They have to generate hype. They can't just shit a game out and be like, oh, here it is, because the more.
But you don't even have to with the creator of Death Stranding. He already has a reputation.
I mean,
making good games.
But you do, because it's the first game that his studio was making, and this game has to be not just a critical, but most importantly, a commercial success. He's literally built an entire studio on this game, and if it doesn't go well,
but they're not going to be able to do that kind of stuff anymore, because the people who are making bad games are doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And when that bad game, they've released the cinematic trailers, the gameplay trailers, it looks awesome. The game gets released, it's a turd because it doesn't function right, or it wasn't how they represented it.
Well, generally, I think.
Do you think that's the case with this game though?
I haven't played it.
But based on what we've seen from the reviews, that hasn't really been mentioned.
No, it's probably going to be fine, but that isn't for every game. So this isn't me picking on Death Stranding. This is me just picking on like.
I say because he leveled the same complaint at Cyberpunk 2077 as well.
Well, Cyberpunk 2077, I think it's almost like what's that space game that everyone got all overhyped about?
Star Citizen.
No, the other one.
Oh, the other one?
The most overhyped game that ended up being a flop.
The shit, what is the name of that one? Why am I blanking on it? We talked about it all the time. Derek was gonna play it.
Yeah.
Fuck, it doesn't matter. I know what you're talking about though. The one with like the pastel color palettes. That they really fucked up.
Here, no. Shammy YouTube. That's how I'm gonna know. Give me.
So while you're looking at
regardless, it doesn't matter.
It's because like when the. Go ahead.
It's what?
Go ahead, Reed.
I said Vamp. No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah, No Man's Sky. Regardless, it doesn't matter because the point is, and I'm getting at is just because you get burned out from the hype, doesn't mean that it's not important. But
they're doing the same thing for like games that aren't good.
Yeah. But
so eventually, I think that people are going to get tired of it because they're going to end up buying these games that get the same type of hype through marketing, and then they end up not being good. And eventually, people are going to say, "Okay, well, we've had so many games that have been hyped like this that turned out bad that they're not going to like. They're going to have to figure out some other way to market these games." Because people aren't going to be up for that anymore.
I don't agree, though. I mean, I think generally most people are able to identify, like, looking at a gameplay trailer, which is the important trailers, by the way, the gameplay ones, looking at a game and being able to look at it and say, okay, this kind of looks like shit, or okay, this looks fun.
How many games came out in the last 2 years that were hyped that turned out to be turds?
I agree.
That were actually hyped.
Yeah, that with the marketing and the cinematic trailers and the gameplay videos. I mean, there was a bunch.
None that I know of.
But most importantly, agree with me.
None that I know of.
When we talked about multiple ones that just in this podcast.
I mean, I didn't think Fallout 76. I mean, Fallout 76 was
Does Jesus agree with me?
But that was, I mean, misleading, and that was something that even I called out. Like when I saw it, like this is not going to go the way everybody thinks it is. I called out Fallout 76 when it happened, and I feel like most people were aware. The fact that they were being vague about shit in the game was a good indication that the game was not going to do well.
What was your opinion, Reed?
What
was your opinion?
I have an opinion.
Sorry.
Yes. Basically, I think that Death Stranding is overhyped, but not for maybe the same reason. It's not the whole marketing thing, although I think that does happen to a lot of games. In this specific case, and only this specific case, it's overhyped because Hideo Kojima has such a fucking reputation in the industry. But the thing is that Hideo Kojima has a reputation for being this creative, artistic genius, and he is. Don't get me wrong. But people love him because he was a part of one of the most popular video game franchises of all time, which is Metal Gear Solid. And which he famously wanted to put to an end multiple times, but wasn't able to because of Konami was putting him in there. So now Kojima, as the creative genius that everyone loves because he worked on their favorite games, Metal Gear Solid, is making a game that is not Metal Gear Solid. And people are going into this thinking it's going to be Kojima, it's going to be Metal Gear Solid, but it's going to be awesome because he's not going to have Konami holding him back. But they're going to be wrong, and they're going to be disappointed because this is not going to be a Metal Gear Solid game.
I mean,
that's a fair point.
Anybody who actually paid attention is going to know this is not a Metal Gear Solid game because that was
Jeremy.
That was a big part of it of the
Maybe they haven't realized it, Jeremy.
I mean, you have a lot more faith in the gaming public than I do because this I don't think that's the way they're going to see it.
That was like that was an outright like statement that Kojima made, was that this is not going to be like Metal Gear. This is not going to be about shooting bad men. This is going.
He didn't say it. I mean, I'm just saying it's still going to be a thing that a lot of people are going to struggle with because Metal Gear Solid also, while being a really great artistic game, was also a great and fun game for people that just wanted to like have a game to play. This isn't going to be just a game to play. It's going to be an art piece that is also happens to be a game, in my opinion. I haven't played it, but that's going to be my guess. So I will end it there because we're at the end of our time. I think we can come back to it next week after you've played it and after the game is out in the wild.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Will you like? What if you don't like it, Jeremy?
If I don't like it, I will admit that I don't like it. I'm not above admitting that I'm wrong.
No, I know that.
Will you make yourself like it even if you don't like it?
What's going to happen in your life? Like, will you be okay?
I'll be pretty.
I'm just messing.
I'll be pretty fucking frustrated.
Will you make yourself like it if you don't like it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. I'd like to think that I learned my lesson from Metal Gear Solid 5.
Is that what happened with that?
Yeah, that's why I'm not pre-ordering Death Stranding.
A man who sticks to his word never pre-orders games.
Yep, I haven't pre-ordered a game since. But yeah, no, I'm absolutely willing to. If the game is bad, I will admit it, and I will come on here and I will tell you guys I am not enjoying this game.
Nice. All right.
I think there'd be a difference though.
Final statements, Matt.
Final statements
about anything, not just this.
I really enjoyed this podcast. This was a good one.
I liked it. I feel like
thanks for everybody in the chat that watched.
Yeah,
absolutely. Huge shout out to chat. It was really exciting talking to all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and end it with that. Thank you guys so much for watching the Not Important Gaming Podcast. You can find us here every Saturday night at 8:30 Central Time at twitch.tv/NIG Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube at Not Important Gaming, and you can find us on Twitter at @GamingImportant. Other than that, you guys want to share anything, plug any of your stuff?
I have a really great podcast that I work on. It's called the Not Important Gaming Podcast. You can find it at notimportantgamingpodcast.twitch. Small little project. We're working to make it better, and I hope you guys come check it out.
Yep, absolutely. Reed's got it. He's not plugging his own stuff, but I'll go ahead and plug it. He's been streaming more. Reed is streaming more on twitch.tv/Emerald Page. I think there's.
Aw, look at you.
There's no.
Yeah, he has really good Dota streams.
And Matt, are you starting to streams more? I know you were thinking about doing.
No, I haven't been.
Okay.
I've been so tired.
Yo, who's coming with me to Mixer?
Well,
all right, we'll talk about it some other time.
We'll talk about it some other time. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful night, guys.
Bye.
Love you. Cheers.